A few zombie bears, no issue. If you're using this really nice steel knuckles, look at this. One head down. I think, oh, that was a double hit. Both of them. I don't know if he's dead. No, he's still alive. No, now he's really dead. Double dead. Look at this. 3 zombie bears and, oh, okay, well, he is not quite. He was just knocked out. Look at this. This is how you take care of zombie bears. Just fighting them. Oh, now their head exploded. And welcome, survivor. I will be your boxing manager today, and of course we are looking at bare knuckle fighting. Fist only, melee only. Actually, it's not really fist only, because even with the leather wraps, I mean, it's not just fist. You are wearing something on it. If you're using the knuckle irons, you definitely have something on your fists. And if you go the top tier, you well, this is not just fist only. You are having some significant weapons, which obviously is not quite like a club, but it's almost. I mean, it is a hand weapon. It is a melee weapon, and on both hands. And today is going to be a guide into them. What perks, what skills, how do you specialize into them, how do you get good at them, how do you craft them, what mods to use, and all of that. But before we get into that, we have a new member of the Vadite community, Vadite Gamer here, which is, let me see, Vadite Gamer, and it's Murph 111. Thank you very much for supporting the content, and here's your seat here in the corner next to Tech. And I do appreciate everyone's support, whether you're just watching this, whether you are subscribing to my channel, which hopefully you are. Make sure you do and ring that notification bell. Whether you're a patron, whether you have a part of the YouTube membership program, or you subscribe on Twitch, or follow me on Twitter, or are on my Discord. It's all greatly appreciated. I love making these guides, and I hope it helps you out. So the first thing to talk about is really, if you want to do this not quite so bare knuckle fighting, what do you skill into? What perks and attributes do you need to use? And specifically, these ones are under Fortitude. So let's look at that one first. We have obviously the regular attribute Fortitude, which will improve everything. It's 1 to 10. You start off at basically 200% headshot damage and a 5% chance to dismember. And it says with the fist and machine gun, so it goes really well if you're using the machine guns. As you go down, you'll see it increases the damage, even all the way down to 300% headshot damage, so it's 100% more, which is really good. And you have a 50% chance to dismember, so it's a lot more than if you're untrained into it. So this one is always good to do. It takes a lot of skill points though, so you have to slowly tech into it. The second one, which is probably more important, but it sort of goes hand in hand. In order to get to this one, you need to have Fortitude 3, 5, 7, and 10. So you have to get the base attribute up before you can tech all the way up here. But look at the first one, level 1. You're a bully. No, actually, you are the brawler. So this allows you to craft quality 2 poor knuckled weapons. And also gives you 10% more damage with your fists. If you punch through the head, you negate the infection ability of the zombies. So you hit them in the face, they won't be able to bite you and infect you, which is quite good. It does unlock Iron Knuckle crafting. As we go down to the second one, you deal 20% more damage and you have a chance to stagger. You can also craft quality 3. At level 3, you can craft quality 4. You deal 30% more damage with fist and you have a chance to knock down your opponent. And that's really, really good. Oh, now you're getting into the good stuff. You're a professional boxer. You can craft quality 5 great knuckle weapons, which is the max tier you can craft yourself. If you want 6, you have to loot, you have to buy, you have to get them as a quest reward. But it deals 40% more damage, and you can ragdoll your foes. Ragdolling is basically knocking them down and knocking them away, knocking so they take a while to get up. At the highest level, and this is the one that requires Fortitude of 10, you deal 50% more damage. You have a chance to explode heads with your punches. But let's take a little bit of a step backwards here. Of course, you have to be good at your stepping. Ooh, you have to be able to run around and everything because you have to get really close. So Fist in general has a really short range. I can't hit him here. If I was using, let's see, if I was using a club, let's use the candy cane club here. I believe I could hit him, and yes, you see you can hit him from here. You can hit him from slightly shorter range. It's not a huge deal, but it's slightly, I believe, compared to some of the melee weapons. But let's have a look at the hit points here. So he has now 201 hit points. If I punch him just in the stomach here with my bare knuckles, it does 7 damage. Okay, that's alright. That's not too bad. But if you notice, you can actually punch pretty fast. It's a little bit faster, I believe, than using a club or something, but it's not super fast. And then, of course, you have the heavy attack, which is the right hook, or right punch, whatever you want to call it. As you loot and craft and find things, you then have the knuckle wraps, which are sort of the basic ones that are basically just, I guess, leather stuff and everything. You have the iron knuckles and you have the steel knuckles, which obviously look a lot worse and more dangerous than just the iron knuckles. And let's look at that crafting. So let's see the knuckle wraps here. You can always craft those ones. Those do not require any unlock, and it's just a bit of iron, a little bit of leather. For the iron knuckles, you'll see you can either unlock them with a brawler or you can find the iron knuckle schematics. And the brawler, of course, is the skill that we just talked about. For the steel knuckles, you need to find the steel knuckle schematics. Go out, scavenge for that one, because without it, you can't actually craft it. But once you have this one unlocked, for the iron knuckles, forged iron, mechanical parts, which is a little bit weird. I mean, there's nothing moving there, but leather and duct tape. Steel ones, it requires steel knuckle parts, so you need to loot these ones or find other ones to then scrap them. Forged steel, makes sense, leather and duct tape. But let me just go ahead and here and tech up properly. So now I should be able to craft everything, no, except the steel ones. But let's craft one of this. And you see, quality 5. I'll do this one. And to get this one, I need to find the steel knuckle schematics. And of course, I have one here. So let me read this one. And that allows me to craft it. Takes a couple of minutes. So what's the difference between the different knuckle types? And what about the quality tiers and everything? So let's walk these through. Look at the knuckle wraps. It has the melee damage of 6. Power attack is basically twice. Not a lot of block damage, naturally. Not a lot of stamina cost. Is actually pretty low. You can hit fairly frequently, and you know, the durability. As you go up to a higher tier, the melee damage will go up. Of course, the power damage will also go up. I believe the block damage and the stamina cost and the attacks per minute will be the same. Durability will also go up. So higher tier is good. As I go up to 6, you'll see that compared to 6, this one does 50% more damage. So it's 9, 15, slightly more block damage. But you'll see stamina cost still just 6. Still hit, or you can attack 100 per minute. And durability is 200. So it's gone up. If we then compare to the lower tier iron knuckles, you'll see it immediately. It does a lot more damage. And of course, that means that the power attack damage goes up as well. The block damage and stamina cost is fairly static, same with the attacks per minute, but of course the durability is higher because they're iron. As we then tech up to tier 3, you'll see melee damage is 11 and 21. As we go to 6, it goes to 13 and 22. So it's gone up a fair bit compared to just this one. It's about double plus. But let's go look at the steel knuckles. And again, there is a range here, but this one does more than all of these ones. 1327, and the durability is even higher. As we go to quality 3, damage is 1731, and a really high durability, as you can see. You still have the same stamina cost. Oh, Mo just died. I guess he died of boredom. No, I'm just kidding. So steel knuckles, the highest quality tier, is going to be around plus minus 2033. Now, there is a range of these ones. So for instance, the melee damage of tier 1 steel knuckles could be, let's say, 12 to 14, and it will randomize in that one. When you have a tier 3, it could be 14 to 18 or 15 to 18 or 19. And steel knuckles tier 6 could have, let's say, 19 to 25 or whatever. So you could find some of those better and have slightly different values as well. So these are just averages, average general ones that I picked up. It could be slightly different if you find or craft them yourself. So we've established that higher tier weapons obviously gives more damage. So is that it? No. It also has a difference in how many mods you can put on them. And let's go through them here as well. So a level of tier 1, and if you modify it, you'll see 1 modifier slot. And if I put on, let's say I put on the serrated blade, you'll see the damage goes up. So adding a mod will, beyond just what it says, this one has a 10% chance to cause a bleeding wound. Beyond that one, it will also give extra damage on the item itself. As I go to tier 3, you'll see I now have 2 slots, which is really good because it means I can put on more things as well. As I go to 4 and 5, I believe it has 3 modifier slots. As you go to 6, you'll see it has a nice whooping 4 modifier slots that you can put in, and that allows you to boost this one even higher, in addition to having the specific modifier that this one provides. So the Knuckle irons can take a bunch of different ones. There's a few really weird ones such as Bunker Buster, Iron Breaker, Digger and everything, which are not really useful. Diamond Blade Tip could be fairly sometimes, but yeah, I only use that on the same Auger and everything. Ergonomic grip could be not too bad, but since it already has a really low stamina usage, decreasing it by 10% doesn't really make a difference. Hunter mod, plus 100% damage to the living beings. Maybe it would be good in PvP versus other players, but you're generally not going to run up to any pig and bashing them. You could, and if you do that, make sure you have the Hunter mod. But here are some that I really like personally. Fortifying grip. When health is below 50%, gain 1 hit point every 5 seconds. This is really good because if you're doing a lot of melee, you'll probably be taking a lot of damage. Another one that I always like is Burning Shaft mod. It basically gives you light, which is nice, and it sets them on fire. So this one is also something you can use. Rad Remover. Disable the regeneration ability of radius sum for 90 seconds. This is really, really good when you're fighting high tier radiated zombies because it stops them healing up. So let's take that one as well. Now let's say, do we want to take, you can't actually take all of them at the same time. So you can choose, for instance, between having a 10% chance to do a bleed wound or have a chance to stun and slow victims. I will probably put on the weighted head mod because if there are a lot of zombies near me, I really want to stun them. I want to slow them down because that makes my life a lot easier and allows me to keep my life. And we're also going to put on the burning mod because I can't put on this one. You could put any of these if you wanted, but it should be good enough. So let's do, sorry. Let's put that back. Let's finish it up. And now let's have a look. Now it gives 25 melee damage compared to the 20 when it was unmodded. A lot of the other items are still the same, but it has the added benefits of the specific special abilities of these mods. But before we get into that one, let me show you little things that you have to take into consideration. So this is just using a bare knuckles, nothing, and I'm trying to hit as fast as I can here. If I then put on the wraps, I believe I can fire this off even faster, so I'm actually punching faster than I would without anything on. So you see this is slightly slower, and that makes a difference because you're going to be up and personal with the zombies. As you put on the knuckle irons or the steel knuckles, you also have the faster bash rate. Let's see here, if I punch this bear, I did 10 damage. Not too bad, but this is without any weapons. If I put on the knuckle wraps, I'll do just 9. What? You do 9? Then what's the point of having these ones? Well, generally, the only difference is that you can punch faster. Because if you really want to do more damage, you need to find a higher tier one, and all of a sudden it does 12. And again, this 12 unmodded. Imagine if you have 12 plus a bunch of these mods, it would definitely be even better. So a really low tier knuckle wraps without any mods is actually not necessarily much better than just bare knuckles that you get just from starting the game. Where it shines is, let's see here, 729, I punch, 31 damage. Let's see how much that's, 32. You can actually punch fairly fast, and you think, oh, he's even on fire now. So you'll see his health is slowly going down, which does allow you to sort of run away and hide a little bit, and he'll still keep on burning. Let's do power attack, 483. That's almost 50 damage. So a few power attacks, and you see my stamina is not really going down very much because the power attack damage stamina drain is not really very high. Let's see, it's about 6 or something, 6 or 7, 8, maybe 8 per punch compared to 6. So you can actually keep doing. Oh, sorry about that, Bear. You can keep on using the power attack quite frequently and still keep it up for a while. As you saw, I did a headshot here, and that was part of the Brawler. Let's see, put this up again. The Brawler, which allows you to have a chance to explode heads with punch, and I think that goes up, so that one is really helpful. If you can punch them in the face, You can do massive damage. Ooh. And if you don't knock them down, you might just, you see here, every hit, either I'm crushing their skull, or I'm ragdolling it, or I'm knocking them down. Of course, I'm fairly lucky because they're standing still and not moving, but you'll notice, right, they, I don't think a single one that actually took a punch and still was standing up. They all got knocked down or lost their heads, and that's really, really good at high tier. If you're using a club, for instance, or pretty much most of the other weapons, you don't really have that good knockdown or ragdolling or exploding their heads. So using these ones are really, really good. And of course, even if you don't kill them, you'll be setting them on fire sometimes, and you'll have, let's go back to the mods, you'll be healing, you will be disabling their radiation. You do have the chance to stun and slow them, really good as well, and of course setting them on fire. So let's assume you are going into a bare knuckle, steel knuckle, iron knuckle build, and you really want to focus on what other things can you spec into that will sort of complement it. And there are a bunch of things here. For one, speccing into heavy armor is hugely important because heavy armor has the best armor, obviously. And as you spec into this one, your armor will last longer. Your movement and stamina penalty will go down, which means that you'll be able to keep fighting longer and longer. Another one, pain tolerance, really good as well. Because remember, if you're up so close to the zombies, they will be hitting you as well. So teching up into this one means that at the level 5, HP loss is 25% less, and you cannot get stunned. As you go down to 4, 3, etc., you have a reduced HP loss, and you have a reduced chance of getting stunned, which is also really, really helpful if you're up and close and personal. Healing factor is also really good. It allows you to heal, and of course, since you'll be taking a lot of damage, this one is really good. 1 health point every 4 seconds with natural healing, and 1 max health every 20 seconds. You get in there, fight a little bit, take less damage because of your heavy armor and less because of your pain tolerance, and the damage that you have, well, try to heal it up as quickly as possible. Cardio is also really good because you'll be using a lot of stamina punching, especially if you're doing the heavy attack with the right button. And this one basically increases your stamina regeneration. So you can actually take some hits, then you start running around a little bit, and you'll be healing up while you're waiting for the zombies to come after you, and then as they do, you go back to fighting them, and then you go back to doing some running, get away a little bit, heal up a little bit, and go right back into punching them in the face. Unfortunately, there's no specific book title or series that will help you using the knuckle irons or the steel knuckles. I believe they will be adding on to that in Alpha 19 because I think they're trying to give each and single one, I guess, playstyle or profession or whatever you want to call it, its own series. So if you look at, for instance, the Pistol Pete has their own, Shotgun has, Sniper has, automatic weapon, etc. But there's nothing specifically for the knuckles. And there's more. Being a brawler actually has some nice benefits as far as drinking and eating. So there are a few ways to improve your survivability. First one, easy to get, is beer. It gives you stamina regen of 50%, so you can run and punch faster. Brawling damage is 300%. That's really, really helpful. You have a stun resist of 100%, not bad, means that you're not going to get stunned. Of course, fairly short durations, you have to keep drinking them. Even better than that is Grandpa's Moonshine. Now this one can be difficult to find, but if you do, it's really good because it has a fortitude +2, so you're going to be taking up high in that one. Melee damage, even better, 400%. Stun resist, you're not going to get stunned. Health goes up by +600. Damage mitigation, 50%. Stamina regen, 70%. So this one is made for going in there and just punching the hordes out. Some of the foods also are helpful. For instance, take the hobo stew. Gives you health, it gives you water, gives you food poisoning maybe, and it gives you max stamina. Same with the yucca juice smoothie, stamina, some health, and of course some water, and extra stamina regen. This one lasts a long time, so it's always good to have. I'm going to take one of this one. Oh, always good to drink a little bit, hydrate. Let's eat a little bit of, yeah, let's not talk about what's in there because we need to get up that one. And let's have a look at if we have a Blood Moon Horde. Alright, we should be getting a Blood Moon Horde here in just any moment. Oh, there's another zombie here. As they start coming in, I am going to be drinking this Grandpa's Moonshine just to help me survive a little bit better. Oh, they're coming from there. Oh yeah, there they are. Let's do that. Let's drink and then let's go to town here. Oh, unfortunately, I don't know. Is it the left one or the right one? I don't know which one I should be aiming for. Let's see. He's one. Oh, that was one. I thought it was two suddenly, actually, but oh, alright, fine. Look at this. Now, unfortunately, there are doubles of everything. It's even worse than than the bear. The beer. The beer, unfortunately, also gives some kind of duplication of your vision because, well, it's very strong. This one has another 13 seconds. You'll see. I'm doing really well here, just punching them out. They are dealing damage to me, but the damage mitigation is really good. I'm just using the right hooks here. Okay, it should go back to normal here, so I should be able to see better. But you can see, they are dealing damage to me, but I can just take a bit of a run around here, heal up a little bit, and you see, knock them down. Just keep knocking them down. And I think I'm bleeding here, so let's run away a little bit. That's one thing you can't avoid bleeding. Hit them in the face. You will be stopping their infection. Look at this. There's not a lot of weapons where you can go toe-to-toe with a Blood Moon Horde and still do really well. Now I have, of course, spec'd up like I talked about, and this is a high-level quality 6 Knuckle, Steel Knuckles, but you'll see it does massive damage to their heads. And there's a lot of times that it actually just explodes them or just ragdolls them. So it's really, really powerful. You see, I'm not even down half. Oh, let's do that. It's not even down half my hit points. And my stamina is still doing really well. I'm not in God mode, as you can see. They aren't really ganging up on me that badly because I keep knocking them down. So you can probably do this all night long. And if I was wearing, I guess, heavy armor and a sledgehammer, I don't think I could do as well. Now I'm bleeding, so I need to run off, take care of that one. And, well, you'll see. This is how powerful these Steel Knuckles are against just a regular zombie horde. If every single hit you're on, if you actually manage to hit them in the face, and you actually can take them out, you thin down the horde really, really well. Oh, I'm bleeding again. I need more bandages. That's probably something to make sure you have a lot of them. Of course, they are really easy to make, but you see, just knock them down, and because you can swing really fast, well, this is not really an issue. So, well, some of them are fire, as you can see. Oh, I think one of the cops blew up. And yep, I need to heal up again. Keep a lot of bandages on. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this guide and this little bit of an example of how you can use them during a Blood Moon Horde. No cheats at all, but it works really, really well. I'll catch you next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.